Ready up. Ultra. Go ultra.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Love. Completed out left to Dobbs. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now that sets up 3rd and 2.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. To throw now, here's Love. Completes it again to Dobbs. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This is Lazard with a catch out left.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. And the Lions have recovered. We know turnover margin always key, going to be really key in this one, and to force an opening drive turnover, that's huge.
It is, and you know something? There's one coach on every team that weighs in at the worst possible.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The fumble on first down now. Here's 2nd down.
Blue check. Quick, yellow. Check pink. Check hunt.
Love going to give this one to Jones.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On the double.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Here's Love. That's taken in by the tight end, Josiah DeGuara.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 23.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Ready, ready. Ready.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Go!
the ground. It's Swift to start the drive.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A first carry for Samaje Perine. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Lions at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Pass the street. Pass the street.
Back to the running game with Swift.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Hurt. Hurt. Right there. Hurt. No, Reed. Go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
It's 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Love. Throw right side, going to be complete to DeGuara. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it... down.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the offense.
Set, ready. Set, two. Ready.
An inside give to Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Derek Barnes in on the stop.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Love now on 2nd down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So not quite out of danger just yet. Still backed up a bit, but only need a few inches here on 2nd down.
Once again, it's Swift.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And got his man complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance travel or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it. But he sure made it look easy there.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this one is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll try and run here with Swift. And some space here.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams.
Ready?
With this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Come on, come on.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
They'll go with the keeper, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Here we go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 to score as they begin 1st and 10. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing. Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Let's go now.
First down, going to the air with Love. Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Aiden Hutchinson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Love looking to throw it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted.
Picked up by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's third and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
74 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
On the option to give to Swift here. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Now we're first and 10 at the 11.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's second and 11. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Ready, set.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Slot man moves right.
Mustang 19.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Lions have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Okay, right?
Final play of the half, Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Love. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Lions are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. In motion comes the tight end left.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to throw. It's complete to Williams. Down the numbers. There he goes. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you want the final metric on his top speed, and trust me, you do, Next Gen Stats says he hit 22.4 miles an hour. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. Touchdown! Juwan Johnson, a 20-yard touchdown.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Love now to pass on 1st down.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Love now. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph, and the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's got it inside the 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 46 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Now Jones. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll try again with Jones. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Aaron Jones
With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
The Packers keeping the offense out there now as he'll go for 2.
Love throwing for it.
That's caught. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On the option to give to Swift here.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and...
On the option to give to Swift here.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know when this...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Lions are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Uses the stiff arm, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
118 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. They'll run it here with Pirine. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Let's go.
Here's Swift.
And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. The Lions turned away on fourth down, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
To throw again on second down.
Love. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Love from the gun on third down.
He finds Watson complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
First down, Love to pass. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
38. Hey, check, man.
On second down, it's Jones.
47 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now Love.
Throwing left side, and Watson has it.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, check that. Street. Ready.
Now back to throw.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
First down, Green Bay.
Here we go.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Throwing. Love. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
At the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
One last shot now for Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really a stellar performance.
So for the Lions, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.